Hello everyone, welcome back. This episode of Bitcoin Trade here. I'm gonna talk about something interesting in as far as virtual reality and how you can use that with your Bitcoins to do certain things. For my previous episode, since we're on the subject of terrorism and everything, I might as well just go ahead and ask this question. Or I'll just maybe share it with you, but how to raise an army in virtual reality. Seems kind of weird to think of it or fathom the idea of raising an army, period. But raising an army in virtual reality is even more stranger. So how would you go about raising an army? Well, it's kind of hard to actually do that in real life, especially me being here in the U.S. since it's I won't say it's not illegal, but I guess it is illegal. Well, it depends what you do with the army, so that's the difference. If you use it to attack this country that I'm in, yeah, that'd be illegal. But if you raise an army just to do nothing, well, there's actually nothing wrong with that. So what if you raise an army in your virtual reality? So I'm going to talk about that for a little bit, and also talking about how to raise an actual army in real life, but not in the way you think. A little different. So. Okay, but let me go over some of this chart first, because I haven't done a chart in a long time. Well, not that long, but let's just take a look at what's going on. So far, let's take a look. So what I'm going to do now is I'm not going to use any more lines, or in this particular case, I'm not going to use any lines or any stuff that I've been using before. I'm just going to look at just the price alone and compare it to the other prices right here, and some other prices as well, but they're just not listed here. But I just use Coinbase, Bitstamp, Bitsy, and Bitfin in this Chinese exchange just to get an overall. So as I look at this price here, it's really strange to see all this. I don't know what's going on. Now you're seeing Bitstamp, and this may indicate an upward movement to see this. Whenever I see Bitstamp high, or even at Coinbase is at 632. So if you look at compared to all the other exchanges, that's very strong indication that real US dollars are purchasing Bitcoins. And so to see this price, the Coinbase price, being the highest right now, is a good indication for me. Because if you look at the price here, if this is, now sometimes unfortunately it's not like $10 higher, but compared to other exchanges, it's the highest price. Of course, when you go in and you try to sell off your coins, your Bitcoins, this is the price you're probably gonna end up with. But still, if you look at this price here, the sell price, it matches very closely with Bitsy, and then also to some degree Bitfin. Bitfin's kind of going down, and then the Chinese exchange as well. So, you could have, I mean, if you were in China and you have Bitcoins and you also do international business per se, and you have a US bank account, you could move some of that and still retain the value compared to Chinese money to US dollar, and actually you might even make out, because if you're on this exchange and you come out about $2 higher with all the fees taken out. So anyways, the only problem with that is you probably have to spend your money here in wherever they take US dollars anyways, but mainly I would assume somewhere in the US. So based on that, based on those prices, I'm starting to maybe see a shift in where the value is going. Maybe coming here to the US. It just seems like it. Just based on this Coinbase price alone. It's a higher demand here, so it demands a higher price, which I guess could be good. So that's my analysis just on those, just on the way the prices are compared to all the other exchanges that I'm looking at. So Bitsamp's now the higher in price, so I think you're going to see a lot more demand. Usually that's an upward trend. When you see Bitstamp or Coinbase being the higher of any of these, the value is being, in my opinion, being pushed up. That's just my opinion. We'll see what happens. If nothing happens, then I was wrong. If it goes down, then I was really wrong. But anyways, just looking at that. Of course, that's just right now. It could change in the next 5 minutes. So you never know. So, alright, so now that I talked about the chart, let's go on to my idea of raising an army. So, alright, so in virtual reality, you don't really have an army, raising an army and all that. What you're doing is, I guess you're linking with other entities. Like I said, I don't know who they are, if they're people or if they're beings or whatever. You're linking with other entities, and you're making a connection, kind of building rapport. But I guess in essence, that could be a way of raising an army. What you're doing is you're trying to get some support. So when the time comes and action needs to be taken, you can send a message out, and then things will get done. Alright, so that's a simple way. Now the other raising an army that I'm talking about is in this world, in reality, and I can't really raise a physical army with guns and all this stuff and tanks, because we're civilized, right? So we're in a civilized society, at least I am, supposedly. So we have to do it in a very civil way. So my army is actually a legal army. So basically, I'm raising a legal army, and we're duking it out we're battling in court. Or that's the battleground. The court is the battleground. And I think you can still get a fair trial. You can still get a fair trial, or a jury, or a judge, and all that. I think there's fairness in there somewhere. I don't know. I never tested it out. So, but I can read, and I can follow instructions. And so far, the instructions that were given, seems like I'm following them. But in any case, you also need to raise an army to defend your territory, right? You want to make a claim onto your territory, so you need to protect those people that are under your territory or in your territory. So when I say raise an army, I mean, why would I raise an army other than to defend what I think is my territory, I guess, both in virtual reality and in real life. So at least people know that they're protected. Isn't it good to know that you can walk outside and know that there's some entity out there protecting you? Not me per se, but just people or entity out there protecting you. It's kind of like it's a weird feeling, but yeah, you kind of have to be a little crazy to get that idea in your head, but when you do and you accept it, it's just amazing. You feel really, well, at least you feel in your head you're protected. Whether you really are or not, I don't know, but it's a good feeling. So in the real world, I'm trying to create that, I guess, defense shield. And so that's what I'm kind of creating. That's how you create your army. I guess that's how, if you want to call it that. But in virtual reality, remember, you can do anything. It's absolute free will. You just got to figure out how to pull that through here into reality, and that's the challenging part. So, anyways, here in the real world, it's just a legal army, and then that's what I want to do first, because we're in a civilized society, so we do things civilly, right? And basically, the next step for me in that, you could build any kind of army you want. It's just a matter of getting how many people you want to join this idea. My next step would be the financial army. You need to fund your soldiers, right? I guess you could call them soldiers, but really they're just your legal defense or legal attack. So that's how you battle. You defend and attack, all in court, potentially. Sometimes it doesn't even go to court. Just a few written letters may do the trick as well. It just amazes me. But doing it in a civil way, nonviolent, does seem to work, because we're still in a how do they say, law and order. We're still in that system, so you still have to work within that system to make the transition. It's a transitional phase here, so we're working with two different, well, you're making a transition from one system to another system, so you have to work through that transition. So work in the current system to make the new system, the new world order, the new age, whatever you want to call it, whatever's coming. I know this is out there. I know this is crazy, but I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to see what happens. I'm going to see if it's possible. And if it is, then it just goes to show. And the next episode I'll do an episode on that book I recently got that talked about virtual reality. It just goes to show that my virtual reality is just as real, or even more real, just as real or even more real as this reality. When I raise an army in my virtual reality, I'm raising an army in reality. So it's strange to think about that way, but anyways, I'll probably share that for another episode. I guess I said a lot, but this won't be too long, because I do want to relax today. It is very hot out here. I'm back in Houston, and so I'll probably conclude it right here. And until next time, I guess, feel free to comment, like, dislike, or even do a video response. Until next time, I guess stay tuned. Bye.